Hi, everybody. This is Dave Sheehan from the Wellness Project. And today I'm very excited to have a colleague from the UK, Kush Kumar. Welcome.
Hello, Dave. Hi, nice to meet you.
Now, we've got a little bit of a delay on at the moment because we're doing this interview in Melbourne at 6:30 p.m., which means it's peak internet time. So it's a bit choppy for everyone at home. So I do apologize, but we'll get through it. Now, Kush is an international educator, author, and CEO founder of the ThinkTree Hub in the UK. And most people in Australia may not have heard about the ThinkTree Hub. So did you want to maybe just talk about that to start with, Kush?
Sure. So my background has been in education for most of my life, a good 30 plus years. And I've always followed some Ayurvedic principles, being brought up as a Sikh Indian, but with those particular values. So together with my background and the mental, physical, and emotional health, I ventured into education, and I thought it was one of the most important things, the most important tools that we have. So this all started when I was about 6. My grandfather taught me Indian head massage, which I later perfected to a Western culture, and wrote some books and some courses for awarding organizations as well. So throughout my life, I've fallen into education, which I think is the key. And then I became a chairman of a different association for about 11 years and was a head of department at a college, worked with universities, worked with Ofsted, our governing body for education, and slowly but surely with time fell into working on with different governing bodies as well. So my background has been very much about education, but also about therapist. Started off as a therapist myself. Students are very important to me. So I in 2018, decided to create the ThinkTree Hub. And if you look at our logo, you'll see what looks like a tree, but it's actually a brain with the vertebrae, with the roots and branches. And the reason I created this was because threefold, really. First of all, I wanted to support students, to give them an opportunity to lots of other professionals, lots of free guidance and advice, lots of steering and giving them a good route to their future. Secondly, I wanted to support what we call as our full members, who are qualified therapists, to make sure that they're compliant with our insurance, with the education, and also they are fit for purpose for our industry. And then thirdly, I wanted to support the course providers. These are the people who generate their courses, and we approve and accredit their courses with a good quality assurance program behind them. With all of this, we felt, because of the background in education and teaching, we wanted to help motivate and structure those course providers by giving them an opportunity to do some teacher training with us as well. So our team, if you have a look at our website, you'll see our team under About Us of subject matter experts and people who are well versed in this area to help moving forward. So ThinkTree is exactly that. And our motto is, if you grow, we grow. If we grow, you grow. So it's a really combined community, and we back that up with our Facebook team, and also with our YouTube and any other social media that we have going at this moment in time.
Wow, that's fantastic. It seems like there was a need for this type of a new association because you mentioned it's quite new. So there was obviously a place in, I guess, for a better word, the market for what you're offering. So there wasn't that offering previously.
I can't really talk about what other people have offered,
Yeah.
but from my experience of talking to therapists, to students, and to others who often related the industry to being fractured. And somebody said to me, "Oh, what's the industry like?" And I said, "Oh, it's a bit fractured." To which they then turned to me and said, well, aren't you part of the industry? At which point I realised that actually it's one of those Trojan horse things where you've got to work from the inside. So I took that quite seriously and literally, and took it upon myself to start to make some changes and be as supportive as I possibly can. So this is where it was all kind of, it came. It wasn't just an idea. It was kind of evidenced through therapists, students, course providers. And did I see it as a niche? I just thought that I always reflect and look at my own life and look at how I progressed and thought, well, what would I have needed? What support would I have needed as a student, as a therapist, as a course provider? So we try and do that. And even now, I'll happily pick up the phone or speak to a therapist, a student, to anybody, and ask them their views and see what's going on for them. And if we can, we certainly will make as many changes as we possibly to suit everybody.
Okay, that's absolutely fantastic that you are creating a new space in the industry over there. So it's a great thing. In Australia, we have, we come from the Massage Myotherapy Australia Association, and there are other associations. We're the largest single modality association in Australia, so we represent massage, myotherapy, remedial therapy throughout Australia. But in your case, I think the UK operates slightly differently as well. So it's nice to get the take on it, how things are slightly different in the UK. Hey, let's unpack a little bit about Ayurvedic practice for those at home that aren't aware, because we are on the Wellness Project show, so we're looking at that side of things as well. So it was very pertinent that we found you out there, and it's great that you're with me today. And are you able to talk a little bit about Ayurvedic practice and how it all works? Because there might be people out there who might be interested in it. I know for a fact in Australia that, there is access to programs and courses on Ayurvedic massage. But yeah, maybe a lot of people at home aren't aware of it. So if you could just sort of unpack that a little bit for us, Kush.
Sure, not a problem. So let's just start off with the word Ayurvedic. Okay, what does it mean? It's about life. It's about your life. Okay, it's about the beginning of your life. So Ayurveda is ground within us. So mentally, physically, and emotionally. This is my take on it. Mm-hmm. And my take is might be slightly different from the traditional take, only because I live in the UK. I was born and brought up in the UK, and I've got to consider my community, consider my environment, and consider how I use those practices. So some of them are quite generic. Some of them are really quite straightforward. So we look at mental health. We look at how we manage our mind. So again, this pursued me to put together quite a good mindfulness program, looking at meditation, looking at guiding myself through my thought process, focusing on the here and now. We look at the physical. Okay, so what do we do? What do we put in the body to make the body react? What kind of food? So Ayurveda covers different things. Especially in the UK, there's a big need around turmeric. All of a sudden, turmeric's the big thing around here. Well, we've been eating turmeric and had turmeric added to food for most of my life anyway. So these natural roots, these natural nature has its own product, has its own help to help your body. Yeah. So I can remember as a child, if there was something wrong, my grandmother would say, right, you need to eat this because this is going to help with that. And at the time, you just do as you're told and think, that's fine. Even down to the kind of oils you might use on your skin. And also the massage, we massage right from when a baby's born. You massage the legs, the arms, and you help that progress. And that's a daily routine. It's just part of life. And then we've got the emotional, and the emotional is about your inner self. It's about how you manage your inner self. It's about not getting too caught up in your monkey mind, but it's about having stability. It's about responding and not reacting. Now, again, this is through my own little research. This is through my own way of life. And this is what I teach others. But Ayurveda, the science of life, which is that terminology, is the way forward. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't look at traditional allopathic medicine, because what we need to do is reach a homeostasis, a balance. When we have a balance, then we are in a better place to make a judgment of what's right, what's wrong. If we are below that balance, then we need help and support, and that can be allopathic medicine, that can be Ayurvedic medicine. Now, here in the UK, it's becoming quite popular, and on our website we have some fantastic practitioners and course providers as well, who travel the world giving lectures, and you'll see them under our About Us page, our subject matter experts as well. So Ayurveda isn't just a treatment; it's a way of life. It's a philosophy, and it's nothing to do with anything other than that science of life. It's not, let's not get caught up in anything to do with religion, culture. It's just about mental, physical, and emotional health.
Okay, lovely. A good segue across from what you've just explained about Ayurvedic practices is that you have authored a book called Malish. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And I believe the word Malish means massage in Hindi. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. So the book I put together was called Authentic Indian Head Massage, Malish. So Malish means, obviously, and it comes from the north part of India, and that's something that my grandfather, like I say, started teaching me when I was 6 about malish. He'd say, "Oh, just malish my back, or just malish my head," and I thought I was bonding with my grandfather, but what I was actually doing was he was teaching me these techniques. And you know something? It's only when you reflect, and I think back now, just how valuable that was for me.
Absolutely. And you carry that through in your life now as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. The other word that I picked up in some interviews that you've been doing in the past, satsang. Satsang?
So, yes.
So did you want to explain to the folks at home how you bring that into your life? Or you've probably already kind of explained it, but it's just in a different way, correct?
Yeah. So satsang, seva, and meditation. Satsang is the coming of truth. Okay, that's where people share knowledge, experience, understanding, and the only way we can progress is by listening and learning. Going back to that education, we listen to each other, we learn from each other, we have conversation with each other. And there are two types of people: those who will learn from other people's experience, and those who need to go through the experience themselves. Okay, so satsang is about people gathering together and having conversation, discussing what's right for them, finding out information, knowledge. So you put that in a teaching and learning context where people are together and they're doing all of that.
Okay, absolutely fantastic. What a great explanation. Now, Kush, we're going to leave the interview there, but I do want to say that we'll pop your website address up. And I've already had a look through the website, and it's full of resources. And I believe that our association will be working a little bit closer with you in the future, which is a fantastic thing. So we'll no doubt see some stuff through our own e-news and social media about that relationship. So I want to thank you very much for coming on the show. And I'm hoping that some of the things that you've talked about will kind of open a new interest for the folks that are listening at home tonight. And it's been very worthwhile catching up with you. Lovely to meet you. And hopefully we'll get to have you back on the show again soon.
Absolutely, anytime. If anybody wants to get in touch with me, they can do Not a problem. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Kush. Thank you.